Hello, my dearest confidant. So I was thinking about, all the animals I have and how even though they're all different species, we all have a basic understanding of what we're trying to communicate to each other. The ducks are even able to communicate with the horses with the pig, the dogs with everyone. Like, everybody's able to communicate with each other in a way that is generic but understood. And so it had me thinking, like, people have such a hard time, like, genuinely connecting and communicating with each other. And I'm not talking about people that have differences in language, because I just got back from South Korea, and even though there were some people that I came across that I did not speak their language, we were still able to communicate. We were still able to understand the intention behind what it was that we were trying to convey. And so it's not that we have a problem communicating. The problem is that we have issues with receiving. We're so consumed by our own thoughts and our own ideas and our own ways of doing things that we are not prepared to receive someone else's reality, someone else's experience, someone else's way of understanding love. We refuse to really be open-hearted and open-minded to their way of life. And I'm not talking about accepting. I'm talking about hearing. I'm talking about understanding. I'm talking about, being in a place where, even though it's not your perspective and you don't necessarily have any experience with it, you can hear what they're saying without the need to defend, without the need to assert dominance, without the need to be right, and without the need to immediately react and have something, an opinion. And so, like, if we could get to a place where we could just genuinely, like, and I'm not talking about when you're already angry, right? I'm talking about, I'm in a good mood today. I'm in a place where I feel like I can receive, and then make yourself ready. You set the intention to make yourself ready to be able to have those types of conversations. And then, of course, if the other person or people or group or whatever is not ready to receive that message, then don't force it on them. And, that's the other thing, is that, we try to force these conversations when the other person's not ready, and don't realize that maybe we're forcing someone that is never going to see our perspective, is never going to be open-minded enough. And so in that case, we're wasting our energy, we're wasting our time, our most precious resource. Instead of saying, you know what, this doesn't serve them. Forget about what doesn't serve you, right? This doesn't serve them, and they're not willing. They're capable, but they're not willing. And so let me turn my thoughts and my ideas and my energy and my time towards this over here, where it is, and that's one of the reasons why I appreciate social media, especially TikTok and Instagram, because I can put my thoughts and my experience out there, and the right audience comes to me. Of course, there's always the trolls. There's always the people that want to have drama, right? But they still watched it. And so I planted a seed. Whether that seed will germinate or die is not up to me, right? But I've planted the seed, and that's all I can hope for. And, I always talk about religion and how it has not served me. But it has served me because it's helped me to understand more of who I am, what I accept and what I don't accept, and the type of person that I want to be, right? It's just like, having that supervisor that fucking sucks. Either you learn that that's not who you want to be, or you become them, or a combination of both, right? And so for me, religion showed me who I didn't want to be. And I decided not to be affiliated with that because of stereotypical stuff, and whether or not that stereotype is a generalization or it's actually true doesn't matter to me. And it doesn't have to matter to me. The fact is that I wanted to be free from that. And so I removed myself from those situations, and I put myself in a smaller group But I feel like my group doesn't have boundaries that I don't necessarily want to have, right? And so there's always a subgroup to every group. There's always a subgroup and a subgroup of that group and a subgroup of that group. And so really my idea is that for myself, I want to be free from as many as those labels and stereotypes and boxes that any spiritual group puts themselves in. And I want to be a student of life. That's my goal. And unfortunately, for a lot of people, that rubs them the wrong way. But for me, it's freeing and emboldens me and empowers me to want to learn more and to want to be there for more people in a way that serves me as well as them. And I'm learning how to do the little things that help me to feel safe and secure that end up being big things. Like I was talking to a friend just yesterday about how I refuse to answer phone numbers any longer that are not in my contact book unless I recognize the phone number, right? Even though they're not added, I've, talked to them before. And my voicemail message is set up to say, hey, you've reached me, but if you really want to connect with me, you either leave a voicemail or you leave a text message, and I decide at that point whether I want to engage with that person. And, the beauty of text messages is that I can take the time that I need to absorb what I need from the information, sort up my energy from their energy, and decide what it is that I really want. So like, for instance, I had somebody contact me, as they do every year, to volunteer for an organization. And they left a voicemail. And you know what? I never even called them back because I realized that if I did do it, I would be doing it out of feeling guilty for not wanting to help and not because I actually wanted to help. And me knowing that about that situation helped me to not feel guilty about saying no, because now I'm honoring myself. And that person didn't bother me again. I didn't hurt anybody. They were able to move on and not waste any more energy waiting for my response. And I also didn't lead them on. And you know how freeing that is. But I communicated with them, right? By not saying anything. I communicated with them. My intention was that I was not going to volunteer because I didn't respond. And, every day we make choices. And so I implore that you take the time to really find when you are emotionally, spiritually, intellectually, analytically able to receive someone else's message, and really try to find those places in your day so that way there can be more understanding. Because even though I don't affiliate myself with religious groups, I'm not closed off to the information. I still believe a lot of aspects of the Bible are true. I still believe that there are good people that do go to church. Yeah. So anyways, I love you, my dearest confidant. Get in receiving mode. It will serve you. I love you. Until next time.